They thought he was just another suspicious black guy by the lake. Didn't matter, he was unarmed, calm, just walking to his truck with a bag of groceries in hand. Two officers rolled up, lights flashing, power trip engaged, and within minutes, they had him face down in the mud, handcuffed like a criminal, shouting over him like he was deaf and dangerous. Thing is, Malik Rivera had seen worse, much worse. He'd been through hell and back, 2 tours in the Middle East, classified missions, the kind of stuff folks don't talk about over dinner. You see, Malik wasn't just some guy at the lake, he was a Navy SEAL. And not just any SEAL, one of the few who could still hold his breath for over 3 minutes underwater and come out ready for war. But these cops, they didn't know that, or maybe they didn't care. Let me back up a sec. It was a Sunday afternoon. Malik had just finished his workout. Long run, few laps in the lake, nothing out of the ordinary. He stops by the gas station, grabs some milk, eggs, and walks back toward his parked truck near the water. That's when the first cruiser pulls up. No sirens. Just that slow, heavy roll like they were hunting something. "Hey, what are you doing here?" No hello, no reason, just heat. Malik, as calm as ever, says, "Just getting my groceries, sir." But that wasn't good enough. The second cop, a younger guy, buzz cut, eyes too wide, jumps out, hand on his taser, barking orders. "Hands up, on the ground, now!" Malik puts the bag down, slowly raises his hands, says, "You got the wrong guy." Didn't matter. They push him to the ground, cuff him, shove him toward the lake like they're making some damn example out of him. One of them yells, "Stop resisting!" while Malik isn't moving an inch. Then the younger cop says something that chilled Malik's spine. "Bet you can't swim, huh?" Next thing you know, splash. They dragged him in, handcuffed, dropped him chest deep in the water, laughing like this was some cruel joke. They didn't know the man they were mocking had trained to breathe underwater in pitch black for survival. They didn't know they just dropped a shark into his own ocean. Malik sank under and waited. 10 seconds. 20. 45. The laughter turned into nervous looks. One cop waded in, panicking, shouting, "Get him! Get him out!" Too late. Malik broke the surface like a ghost. No panic, just precision. And with a single twist, he yanked the younger officer by the vest, flipped him under, and dragged him back to shore like a soaked rag doll. The older one stumbled back, pulled his gun, but froze. Because by then, a figure had appeared, someone unexpected. Sheriff Eloise Green, a black woman with a stare that could melt steel, stepped out of her SUV. Turns out she'd been listening on the scanner, knew something wasn't right when she heard the call coded, "Suspect resisting near lake, male, black." She arrived just in time to see her deputies trying to drown a decorated soldier. "You two," she growled, pointing at the officers, "are done. Turn in your badges, now." They tried to argue. She didn't flinch. Malik stood dripping wet beside her, not a word, not a tremble, just watching, like a storm had passed, and left justice in its wake. Next week, both officers were fired. The department issued a public apology. Malik? He didn't sue, didn't speak on the news, he just went back to his quiet life. But folks who know him say he still walks that same lake path every Sunday. Not in fear, but in full knowledge of who he is. And those two cops? Last I heard, one's working private security, the other vanished off the radar. No charges were filed, because, well, you know how that goes. Qualified immunity, long reports, legal gray zones. But here's the thing. Sometimes justice doesn't come in a courtroom. Sometimes it comes with water in your lungs and the sound of your own shame echoing off a still lake. So what do you think? Was Malik right not to press charges? Should those officers have gone to jail? Or does this kind of silent justice speak louder than a trial ever could?